Alright, welcome back. It's night, and it's time to learn how to do things we haven't done before. So, here's what I want to do. I want to learn how to use the animation player. Now, one of the reasons why I want to do this is because I'm not sure on if my current system for attacks is the best system, for me at least. The problem I currently face, that I haven't tackled yet, is a concern about how the player will move when they are in an attacking animation. Now, I asked a few people about what the animation player is. I know it exists, I don't really have experience with it. So, today we're going to just try to do something with it. First thing I want to do is add just something to see. Just a simple collision shape to a new scene. Static body, and shape 2D, shape, rectangle, focus, zoom. Thank you. I think that's enough. And also add an animation player. Actually, let's go with a character body 2D because that would make more sense to me. Because this is probably the thing that's going to have the most animations, so it might as well be the root node. Nope. Mixing root. Delete this. We don't want it. Alright. So we have a character body that just exists now. We have a bunch of properties that the thing can change and whatnot that somewhere in here. So the animation player. Right now it has an animation called stop. Don't know what that means. Speed scale, not sure. We have animation audio. I think this is also related to the animation player. Shader editor to do, which is not related to any of that. Okay. So first off, let's open the documentation. Provoke. Okay. Use for animation playback. There's an animation mixer, so let me just do that first because it's probably more important. So properties is active, audio max, callback distance, tree, reset and save, yeah. Find animation file library. Get animation lists. Motion position. I don't know what that is. Signal, animation finished, libraries updated, changed, mixer. I don't think I should be looking at any of this probably. Okay. Animation layer. That's all it is. The animation player. To display animation. There's some online tutorials. I should probably use those at some point. Signed animation, autoplay, current animation length, current animation, playback audio, auto capture, playback, audio capture, ease type, speed scale, playback, default time. Right. Methods, animation get next, animation set next, clear clean, cue, Wing, get playing speed. Past section is playing. Play backwards. Play section backwards. Play section with markers. I need to understand what play is for that. Set blend time. Set section. Stop. Okay. Let's start with play, I think. Plays animation with the key name. Uh, Custom blend times and speed can be set. From end option affects only when switching to a new animation track or if the same track, but at the start or end it does not affect resuming playback. That was paused in the middle of an animation. If custom speed is negative and from end is true, the animation will play backwards, which is equivalent to calling play backwards. The animation player keeps track of its current or last played animation with assigned animation. This method is called the same animation parameter. Assigned animation. Okay, stop. Stops the currently playing animation. The animation position is reset to 0 and the custom speed is reset to 1. So this will pause. Node. Character body 2D, I guess. Dictionary key value. Add key value pair. Over here. Node. Deterministic X. Active. Reset on save. Not sure what a name this is. Root motion. Track. Filter tracks. Clear. Audio. Process idle. These are node things, so no need for that. Okay. Animation player something here. Buttons. There are buttons here. What is these buttons? Stuff. Okay, animation. New animation, manage animations, duplicate. New animation. Test. Alright, that's cool. Differences on the past, future. Enable onion skinning, pin animation player. No more things here? No. Seconds. Frames per second. Try zooming on this. Zoom. That's probably fine. Safety. Okay, that works. That button is important for me to understand where I am or how big the thing is. Alright, animation. Manage animations. Test built. Test. Please test. Storage built in. Save as testings. Save. Alright, okay. Test. Test.res. Open. Length loop, resources changed. Test, test. Oh, it doesn't tell me anything here. Maybe I'll just delete this. So, if we add a track, property, position, rotation, scale, blend, etc., etc. Let's go with property for the position of this thing. Actually, maybe velocity. Does it not have a velocity? Position. I'm sorry. What? Documentation. Control F. VELO. That's a property. Why is it not showing up? Add track property to this thing. Okay. VELO. City. Alright, that's a problem. Position then. Did we add a track? Position. Is anything there? What am I trying to do? Apparently this button is the thing I needed to click. What is this? So show tracks from selected node and tree. Okay. So I changed the node. It doesn't show up anymore. Alright, that's annoying. Tracks by node are listed in plain text. We'll figure that out later. Apply snapping to selected keys. Insert key. Update mode, how this property is set. Interpolation mode. Loop wrap mode. Interpolate end with begin on load. Continuous discrete. Capture. Continuous nearest. Linear. Cubic. Clamp wrap, wrap loop, interpolate. I don't know what those mean. Alright, so we have this. Let's try moving the player. Insert key. Cool. Let's start the animation. Wait 6 or 5 or 6 frames. What is this? 6 frames. Alright. And then set values. This. Time 7. Cool. What is this key. You know what, 10, sure. Value 100 pixels to the right. Right, so add 0. Let's Control C and V. This position times 0. Start at 0. Run it. Okay. It's not that. Let's move this to 60 so I can actually see the thing. Epic. Using just like what this? Okay, so the starting one actually matters, the using one. So that's continuous, I think. Or no, I don't know. Capture? I don't know. I don't know what to do with these. So position here and position here. Run the animation, it does that. Place it here, it does it faster. Cool. 10. Okay. Alright then. What's happening? It is recommended to not be transformed. Cool. It's not transformed at frame 0. No, I don't want to do that. How do I move forwards a single frame at a time? Can I press a button? Alright. Let's give this... What? First off, it's not transformed immediately. Yeah, that's why I don't know why it did that. Alright. Okay. Mask for inserting keys. Rotation mask for inserting keys. Mask for inserting keys. Scale mask for inserting keys. Insert keys. Record. Animation key and pose options. I don't know what these mean. Position, rotation, and scale masks. I don't know what any of that means. Okay. Right, I'm gonna have to pull up a YouTube video at some point. Um, let's give the character body a script. Test player. Test animation player. And put into testings. Yep. Save. Sure. Right. If input dot is action just pressed, let's go with jump because that's spacebar. One jump. One. Let me export. Shift. Add. Export. Door. Animation player. Player. Okay. Assign this. Okay, I should save this as testing. So we have the animation player. Animation player dot animation get next. Animation net set next. Assigned animation autoplay clear green. Dot start. Play. Alright. Just add export bar animation. What is an animation? Also that I can use anything in the engine. Okay. Plus space holds data that can be used to animate anything in the engine. Animations are defined into Apache terms must be linked to a node. The state of the node that can change the type. And tutorials. Capture included length step. FPS. Seconds. Loop mode. There's a lot of things. I'm not sure how to work with this. Alright, so what we've learned so far is the animation player needs a resource called an animation to work. Now, um, what is an animation? I'm not sure. Animations, calling animation. So go to manage animations, click here, go to test, does it let me change? No, reset, reset, what is reset? Okay. Manage animations, global, trash this one. Oh no. Okay. Animation, rename, edit transitions, open an inspector. Okay. Length, loop mode. But these keys that are on here, that's character body. I get the ability to keyframe things. Alright. Alright, let's put a keyframe here. Keyframe here. Set this to -100. Right, and move the keyframe to 30. Right, 30. Okay, I go here, run the current scene, nothing happens. If I click on this thing, reset, test, 2D, wait, play the animation. Oh, it keyframes at the wrong thing. Go back here, play, okay, 10, 30. So that can move the thing and I can see it move, which is neat. This thing is bad. At this point, this can be a circle. Alright, so then it just changes into a circle at 20. So what happens if I play it backwards? Sorry, what? Once it's a circle, it stays a circle. Unless it's going forwards. Okay, so going backwards, it stays a circle until it hits square. Going forwards, it stays a square until it hits circle. But going backwards from here to stop here, and then changing forwards for 1, it goes to square. Okay, changing the direction matters a lot. So if I put a keyframe here, this thing, change it here to a rectangle, right? Rectangle, circle, circle as well. No, I want this to be rectangle. Okay. The collision shape by default is a rectangle. Right here, it's a rectangle. Here, depending on the direction I am heading. If I'm heading away from the thing, it's changing the property. So that's an interesting property. If you head in the if you're heading away from a specific node, then it's, I'm sorry, from a specific property, then it does the, starts doing the opposite. Um, is it really saying doing the opposite? I don't think that's the right thing to say. Okay. All right. So let's say I add another few collision shapes. Control C, not all the same layer, not all the same shape either. Let's say we have our attack with a bunch of collision shapes. Each of these is going to have a number 2 or something. Okay. Give them enough space and move this thing. Alright, new rectangle, new rectangle, new rectangle, new rectangle, and new rectangle. Okay. So let's change your debug color to red to signify a hitbox. This is 6. This is 5, so let's move this one to signify a hurt box. I don't actually need so many. Probably 3. So one for the player, one for a hitbox, one for a hurt box. Right now, I move the player. Okay. I go to my input manager. Actually, no. Player attack manager. I believe I have code for starting the attack. There we have active frame. Shift var active frame colon int equals 0. Let's use process. Over control C active frame plus equals 1. Alright, let's give this a class name and call it like test. Alright, test. Can I change this property? Okay. Add track, property track, this thing. Okay. Test. No, I can't. No, I can't. Really? Okay, so it only affects exportable variables, it seems. So if I want to use it at export var save, now I should theoretically be able to use it. This thing, active frame. Very, very interesting. What if it's on ready? Can I then use that? No. Okay. Very interesting. It has to be the active frame. So then, attack manager. All right. Let's see. Hmm. What do I do? All right. Here's what I kind of want to happen. I want to have my attack manager exist as it is currently. Then I have a button that when I press it, creates/updates an animation for an attack. Let's write this down somewhere. Make it. I want attack manager the same, but add a button to make an animation for an attack based on the attack and how it's built. Right? Maybe. So right now I have attacks that have specific number of frames under them, and those frames have hitboxes and hurtboxes. What I can do is have a quick button that just updates the attack, like specific things in the animation player. So in the animation player, I can have a function that's like, all right, you're attacking, you've started the attack. Increment through the attack. That's already done in the attack manager. Then in the animation player, I can have something, or somewhere else, I can have something that tells me the first hitbox is on this frame. Add this to the animation player. I don't know. Right. What's the point of it? Is it 2D? I move the character body, the whole thing moves. So, if that's the case, if we're doing a Shoryuken, let's just say we are, we would have something like this, probably. We want a simplifier player. So, our player is some shape. They have an extended body part that's another shape. I'll just do something like that. And this thing, not that small. Let's just do a simple punch. Right, so they do a simple punch, their body comes out a little. So then I would want the player to move a bit forwards when they attack. Simple as that. You can move back, you could just not move back at all. 20. Delete. Enter. Add track. Call a method. This thing. Right here. Insert key. Need to add a script first. Or add a method. Tab. Func. Attack. Colon pass. Print. Hitbox. Not that. This thing. I got a script actually. What is happening? This isn't. This just doesn't matter right now. Right, run the script. Nothing happens when I press that because that's not doing anything. How do I start the animation player? Okay, sure. How do I start the damn thing? So current animation and I believe play are the same thing. How do I save this animation? This animation we have made called test animation, manage animations, global reset test built in, copy animation to clipboard, Control V, no, okay, new, Control V, quick load, no, load, no, cancel, manage animations, test, built in storage. What does this mean? New library, test library, okay, copy, test 2, okay, copy animation to clipboard, paste animation, okay, delete this one, delete that one, delete this one. So there's a library now, load library. I don't think I have them saved anywhere. It's another thing. Okay. Reset test library. Alright. Use- What is the path? What is this? Scene animation player test dot scene animation for something. I guess it's just another thing inside of it. Somewhere, someplace. Libraries. Cool. So there's the default library, the test element library. Let's open this one up. Actually, not repaired. I had just cleared All of that. All right. I don't know what this is. So I just shouldn't do anything here, apparently. Usually it does. Yeah. Node. Okay. Let me save this. Okay. Then can I export an animation? All right. If I rename this, does this rename that? Okay. Place animation with key name. Okay. What does that mean? Animation cannot be assigned to type string. Okay. takes in an animation player. Control F, animation. Animation underscore set underscore text. At one time as it room is playing. S section. Pause play. Now clear set. Terminate. Alright, so I have an animation, but how do I... God damn it, does no just have a name? Built-in type for unique strings, okay. If I just go animation player dot play and go animation dot name, save that. Does it work? You know, before I do that, let's make sure this actually is real. Here, upload this. It doesn't have a name. Let's go to script. So that's the animation auto start. You know, let me just try playing tests. Run it. It does try, but it doesn't run anything. It moved. That's really evil. Okay. I'm sorry. Resource out of the holes name, even engine, tracks, denotes, denote. Creates animation that makes the enemy node move to the right by 100 pixels in 2 seconds. Alright, so the animation is called test. Cool. Animation player. Manage animations. Test. Tester. Alright. Okay. Attack. No. Animation player test. Uh, but like, how do I get the thing's name? Get name. Name property is part of the nodes, which is all scene objects. No. Um, stop that. Animation, manage animations, global tester. Cool. Um, can I open this thing? Okay. Wait, animation dot as resource dot dot name resource name. This is not the scene. Does it move in the corner? No. Why? 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 Is it not? Okay. We go ready. Oh, ready. Enter animation dot resource name. Let me just call resource name raw then first. Okay, that just doesn't work. Equals string test. Is this not a string? Oh, wait, no, I can't. This doesn't freaking exist. Frick me. Yeah, the camera there should make sense. Mm, resource path, maybe. Test not found. Tests. So that's not the case. This is called test here. It's called tester here, which is annoying. What do we do here? So I spent an hour on this, at least. But I just want to play the animation in code. Alright, let's do an underscore. Let's do func ready colon animation dot resource. Equals test. please let me do this. No, it doesn't exist. I can't rename it. Okay, animation library. Let's try a goddamn animation library. Quick load. Nothing exists. New animation library resources. Yes, nothing. 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 Alright. Animation. Manage animations. Save this library. Save as library. Alright. Quick load. This thing. Cool. Now that that's the case, what can I do? Animations. What? What I get the animation you would like me to do? Is that interesting? Alright. I'm gonna watch you some videos for this a little bit on my own time at some point because I'm very confused. What's something I can work on in the meantime while I do some research for that? Shrink this back to about its regular size. We could try making a grab. Cancelable attacks. Um, Stop the player from actioning when doing a specific thing. Probably. So let's spend some stuff. There's some stuff I had, but I need to try that. Need to make grabs. Make grabs is definitely important. Um, Cancelable attacks we already have, I believe. Target combos. I know what that means, which is I hit a button, then during that attack I hit another button, that another attack comes out automatically. It's pretty interesting. We'll have to see how I need to set that up. But that's gonna have to come some other day, including the thinking for it. So goodbye and good night.